The Governor of the State of Illinois has declared a gubernatorial disaster proclamation in response to a COVID-19 outbreak, and all of the village of Glendale Heights is covered by the disaster area. In light of the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak, the village president of the village of Glendale Heights has determined that an in-person meeting for the August 5, 2021 village board meeting is not practical or prudent in light of the disaster. All of the trustees of the village board participating in the August 5, 2021 village board meeting, wherever their physical location shall be verified and determined that they can hear one another and can hear all discussion and testimony during the meetings. Signed Chaudhary M.A. Khokhar, Village President of the Village of Glendale Heights, dated August 5, 2021. I would like to call this village board meeting of Thursday, August 5, 2021 to order. Will the clerk please take the roll?
President Coker,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt,
Here.
Trustee Siddiqui,
Here.
Trustee Light,
Here.
Trustee Meritato,
Here.
Trustee Pojek,
Here.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Please stand and join me in the saying of Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We now go on to petitions and communications. Community announcement. Trustee Schmidt, please.
Thank you, President Coker.
Very welcome.
The Village of Glendale Heights is looking for hardworking individuals to join our team. We are now offering a variety of career opportunities for both full-time and part-time positions. The Parks, Recreation, and Facilities Department is now hiring for PATH before and after school counselors and coordinators, along with program facility coordinators. The Center for Senior Citizens is hiring for customer service associates. And lastly, the Glendale Lakes Golf Club is hiring a dishwasher, waitstaff, and cooks. For more information on these job opportunities or for additional career postings, please visit www.glendaleheights.org/HR or contact Human Resources at 630-909-5357. The next Coffee and Chat with the Mayor and Village Board will be this Saturday, August 7th, at the Center for Senior Citizens from 10 a.m. to noon. If you are unable to attend and have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the Mayor or Village Board, please call the Mayor's office anytime at 630-909-5303. Thank you.
Welcome, Trustee Schmidt. Trustee Siddiqui, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Glendale Heights Police Department is hosting their annual Citizens Police Academy beginning Tuesday, September 7th. The Citizens Police Academy gives participants a realistic view of police work by providing instructions and education on real-life police trainings, arrest, self-defense tactics, firearm safety, and more. Enrollment is free and open to citizens 18 years of age and older who live or work in Glendale Heights. Applications for enrollment can be downloaded and printed from the village website. For more information, please contact Connie Mars at 630-909-5436 or Sergeant Mike Pentecost at 630-909-5457. In a recent test done by DuPage County, there are reports of increased presence of West Nile virus in DuPage County community. The DuPage County Health Department is encouraging residents to protect themselves from mosquito bites and the risk of contracting the West Nile virus. The best way to prevent West Nile virus is to avoid mosquito bites and follow the 4 Ds of defense. Remember, from dusk and dawn is when mosquitoes are most common. Dress with long pants and long sleeves. Drain standing water and defend yourself using insect repellent. For more information, please contact the DuPage County Health Department at www.dupagehealth.org. Thank you.
Welcome, Trustee Siddiqui. Trustee Light, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Join us on Saturday, September 11th at 7:15 p.m. as we honor and remember the 20th anniversary of Patriot Day. We'll have a silent parade of first responder vehicles along Fullerton Avenue, beginning at Reskin School and ending with a ceremony at Village Hall. We invite the community to honor all those we lost on this tragic day 20 years ago. For more information, please contact the mayor's office at 630-909-5303. I'm happy to read this one. The Village of Glendale Heights is revving up for the 38th Annual Show and Shine Car Show and Swap Meet at Camera Park on Sunday, September 19th from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. There will be 18 classes of vehicles on display along with a swap meet, food, and music. If you're interested in registering a vehicle or signing up to be a swap meet vendor or crafter, please visit Glendale Heights website, www.glendaleheights.org/car-show to download the registration form. Thank you.
Welcome, Trustee Light. Clerk Smith, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Village of Glendale Heights and the Village Board relies on the community to let us know if you see something of concern. When submitting a concern in writing to any of our departments or your district trustee, we do ask that you please include your name along with phone number or email address. This will help us ask additional questions for clarification and gives us the chance to follow up with you. If you have any questions about how to report a concern, contacting your district trustee or any other forms of communication, please contact the mayor's office at 630-909-5303. Thank you.
Welcome, Clerk Smith. Trustee Maritato, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Village of Glendale Heights, in partnership with the FOP Lodge 52 and the Glendale Heights Chamber of Commerce, invites you for the return of the annual Glendale Heights Charity Golf Classic on Friday, September 19th, with a 9:00 a.m. shotgun start at Glendale Lakes Golf Club. This year, the Charity Golf Classic will be raising funds for Make-A-Wish Illinois, FOP Lodge 52 Community Enrichment Fund, and the Glendale Heights Chamber of Commerce Scholarship Fund. If you would like more information, or if you want to become a whole sponsor, join us for dinner, or to make a raffle donation, please call Glendale Lakes Golf Club at 630-260-0018 or the mayor's office at 630-909-5303. Help us make the 21st Annual Charity Golf Classic another success. Thank you.
Trustee Maritato. Trustee Pojek, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Movie with a Cop. Join the Glendale Heights Police Department for a movie of Safety Town on Friday, August 13th, starting at dusk. We will be showing Trolls World Tour, along with fun interactions with Glendale Heights' finest. Popcorn and refreshments will be provided by the Kiwanis Club of Glendale Heights. For more information, please contact the Glendale Heights Police Department's Community Outreach Specialist, Tanya Macco, at 630-909-5353. 5459. Thank you.
You're welcome, trustee Pojek. Next, trustee Schroeder, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Glendale Heights 2O Aquatic Center is open daily from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Daily rates start at $7 for residents. Beginning August the 11th, the Glendale Heights 2O Aquatic Center will only be open on the weekends, and our final date for the season is Monday, September the 6th. Masks will continue to be required for all patrons as they enter and leave the facilities, but they can be removed when guests have found a social distance location on the pool deck. So stop by and enjoy the remainder of the summer at the Glendale Heights 2O Aquatic Center. For more information, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. Thank you.
Welcome, trustee Schroeder. We now go on to public discussions of agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address his board on an agenda, this board on an agenda items?
Good evening, President Kokar.
Good evening.
My name is Christopher Epstein, Plum Drive. First couple questions I have are directed probably towards Keith. Keith, with regards to the improvements to Camera Park, are any of those improvements going to be enabling handicapped people? Like, do we have a handicap type of, devices or anything like that? That's the first question. And the second issue would be with regards to the funds, the electric aggregation. Do you have approximately how much is going to be put towards the garden project through the Parks Development Fund?
Can you hear me? I can answer both of those, I believe. The first question in regards to Camera Park, we do have some different things for those with special needs. One of the biggest things that we've done is we've incorporated the pour and play surface for the playgrounds to make it more accessible for everyone. So we do have different amenities that cover that those specific areas. In regards to the community garden, the aggregation money goes forward to that. That money will be what is used to put together the community garden. I have a preliminary proposal for a project that would cost approximately $100,000 to put the entire thing together. That includes getting the entire facility and area set up for all that needs to be done for this community garden.
Thank you. I'd like to also bring up a couple of the new business items. I know we're not there, but there has been a request to waive the first reading on those items. The first one I want to discuss, number 4, with regards to the food and beverage tax. For the village, are we planning on increasing that tax at what this ordinance is?
No, the ordinance is a small change with a text which allows for the collection of the food and beverage tax with these delivery services, Grubhub, et cetera.
All right, and the second question I have, I know it's not on the waiving, but the resolution, the SIP program that you're planning on having, is there a certain amount of employees that you limited to leaving under this separation agreement?
The separation agreement applies to 17 individuals that would be eligible for it within the parameters that we've set.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. We will continue with the consent agenda. You have the consent agenda before you.
Mayor, I would like to remove number 11, 13, and 16.
Okay.
Excuse me, you want to put them under new business?
New business, yeah.
New business.
So then that would be 6, 7, and 8 under new business.
17.
Mr. Coker, I have one too.
Yes, which one is that?
Number 17, put under new business.
1 second. Oh, 17 has been already removed.
It has, all right, thank you.
You will.
Well,
No.
it hasn't been removed yet, but we will be removing it as we move forward. There's no reason to have that on anymore. There's no longer a request for that permit.
Okay.
Are we removing it or moving it?
17,
Yes.
the resolution to approve the application for the pyrotechnic display should be
Yes.
removed completely from consent. Completely, there's no need for it anymore at all.
Okay.
Take it off the
Thank you.
agenda completely?
Completely, yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, can we move 18th also to new business?
Is that new
Okay,
business too?
18, motion to,
18th, yeah,
Business?
Which one was that? I'm sorry.
18th.
18?
So that would become number 9 on new business.
Number 9.
okay. Would our village administrator, Mike Maron, please read the consent agenda?
Absolutely. Number 1, the approval of the special board meeting minutes of July 8, 2021. Number 2 is the ratification of the accounts payable listing of July 22nd, 2021 in the amount of $2,315,513.58. Number 3 is the approval of the accounts payable listing of August 5, 2021 in the amount of $1,080,002.17. Number 4 is a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of a settlement agreement and release between the Evergreen Condominiums of Glendale Heights Association and the Village of Glendale Heights. This is Resolution 2021-R-71. Number 5 is a motion to approve pay request number 3 to Klaus Brothers Incorporated for the Camera Park Improvement Project in the total amount not to exceed $39,789. This has been attorney approved. Number 6 is a motion to approve pay request number 2 to J. Congdon Sewer Service Incorporated for the 2020 CDBG Glen Hill Drive Water Main Replacement Project in the total amount not to exceed $525,845.30. This has been attorney approved. Number 7 is a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award for the purchase of one Peterbilt 537 lift truck. This is Resolution 2021-R-72. Number 8 is a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award for the purchase of one 2-ton Falcon asphalt recycler and hot box trailer. This is Resolution 2021-R-73. Number 9 is a resolution authorizing the purchase of one 2022 Ford F-250 Super Duty truck to replace Street Division Unit Number 570 by the Village of Glendale Heights. This is Resolution 2021-R-74. Number 10 is a resolution authorizing the purchase of one 2022 Ford F-250 Super Duty truck to replace Utilities Division Unit Number 649 by the Village of Glendale Heights. This is Resolution 2021-R-75. Number 11 has been moved to new business. Number 12 is a resolution to authorize the execution of an agreement for professional engineering services for the water treatment plant non-potable water replacement project. This is Resolution 2021-R-77. Number 13 has been moved to new business. Number 14 is a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Department of Transportation, and the Village of Glendale Heights in connection with the energy and maintenance costs for traffic control devices on state highways. This is Resolution 2021-R-79. Number 15 is a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of agreement between the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, and Christopher B. Burke Engineering Limited for the furnishing of professional construction observation services for the North Avenue Inflow and Infiltration Repairs Phase 1 project. This is Resolution 2021-R-80. Number 16 has been moved to new business. Number 17 has been removed. Number 18 has been moved to new business. Number 19 is the approval of the consent items.
Is there a motion to approve the consent
Point
agenda?
of order, please.
Yes.
Since we are removing items from the consent agenda, should not the resolution numbers be renumbered to become consecutive? Because we will be adopting those, and if for some reason resolutions that are moved to new business are not adopted, that would create a gap in the sequence.
We had a discussion with the clerk before the meeting in case that occurred. Clerk Schmidt?
In the past, we have never reassigned numbers because if someone is looking at an old agenda, they would be able to cross-reference it by the number because our minutes will reflect that these were taken off and moved. So they will keep the numbers they were assigned.
All right,
Easier for record keeping.
okay, thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion, first motion? Yes, Mr. Pojek.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Trustee Light, second. Discussion.
No discussion.
No discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes,
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Absolutely.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. There is no old business, so we will move on to new business. New business, number 1, there is a request to waive first reading on item 2 to 4. Can I get a motion to waive first reading on new business, item 2 to 4? Mr. Schmidt, yes.
move that we waive first reading on new business items 2 through 4.
Second.
Second, Mr. Light, second, right?
Yes.
Yes, he was second. Sorry about that. Discussion. No discussion. First reading is waived on new business item.
Vote on that.
Call
Call the
vote.
roll.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes,
First reading is waived on new business items 2 through 4. Number 2. An ordinance to amend Title 4, Chapter 3 of the Village Code of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, number of licenses, Angie's Cafe. First reading is waived. This is ordinance 2021-58. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2021-58? Mr. Light?
So moved.
Second.
Second is Mr. Smith.
Second.
Discussion. Yes, Mr.
Somebody's already second? Second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
discussion. No discussion, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
yes,
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-58 is approved. Number 3, an ordinance rejecting all bids for the North Avenue 1 and 1, should be I and I, is repairs Phase 1 project and awarding the contract to Vizu Saver of Illinois Incorporation. First reading is waived. This ordinance 2021-59. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2021-59? Yes, Mr. Pat, yes.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Mary, second.
Second.
Discussion. No discussion, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-59 is approved. Number 4, an ordinance to amend Article I entitled Food and Beverages Tax of Chapter 2 entitled Village Taxes of Title 3 entitled Finance and Taxation of the Village Code of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. First reading is waived. This is ordinance 2021-60. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2021-60? Yes, Mary.
So moved.
Ms. Mary.
Second.
Second, Mr. Siddiqui. Discussion. No discussion, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-60 is approved. Number 5, a resolution approving and authorizing the implementation of a voluntary separation incentive program, RES 2021-R-82. Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2021-R-82? Mr. Yes,
Yes.
Light.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Mr. Schmidt, Trustee Smith. Discussion.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
Go ahead first.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
Mr.
thank you.
Siddiqui, yes.
I just had a quick question on this, as far as like a break even on this, if there was a point where it becomes better or worse, or if that was something that was
Well,
possible.
It's difficult to pinpoint a break-even point because there are so many variables in who may take advantage of the program and who may not take advantage of the program. So obviously, the fewer people that take advantage of the program, the less that the program costs. But if they're not the right people, then it has less of an impact on expenses. The executive staff has discussed certain scenarios, depending on which positions become vacated, as to what may or may not need to be refilled or refilled with a different type of a classification of employee. That is where the cost savings really comes in. Obviously, if all 17 employees that would be eligible under this program take advantage of it, that's the best-case scenario.
All right, I was
No,
just,
that's not a really great
I
answer.
know exactly what you're saying. No, I can see what you're saying, exactly where it's at. Thank you.
Yeah.
Siddiqui, Mr. Siddiqui, yes.
Yeah, actually, my question was pretty much the similar. That's what I want to know. Okay, so how you are planning, like, so you are, when you are assuming that the people who are going to take the advantage of this program, then you are going to hire new people, but they are going to be getting this job done in a lesser pay, correct?
So in some cases, yes. In some cases, the individual would be just flat out replaced, but they would be replaced at a level 1 salary. Anyone that is looking at this has been here at least 19 years, and so they are at top level salaries. So there's an inherent savings right there, if just in that swap out of personnel. In the situations where a position may not be replaced, and there are a couple that have been identified, obviously that's the best case scenario for the village. And then there are some situations where there might be some transfers that take place that those vacancies then would be replaced with a classification of employee that is making less money.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui,
Yes,
Trustee Light,
Yes.
Trustee Meritato,
Yes.
Trustee Pojek.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. Okay. New business. Number one,
So
there is a request to waive first reading on item, we did this here. Sorry.
flip the page there.
Yeah, right. Okay, discussion vote called resolution. Okay, resolution 2021 R82 is approved. So now, we now go to the public discussion of.
We have, Mayor, we have new business number 6 now.
Yes,
Six
we
through
have
nine.
new business number 6, and that is number 11 on consent agenda.
That's correct.
A resolution to rename the Village of Glendale Heights Water Pollution Control Facility to the Glendale Heights Wastewater Treatment Plant, RES 2021-R-76. Can I get a motion to approve resolution RES 2021-R-R-, treatment plant RES 2021-R-76? Yes.
So moved.
Mr. Trustee Light, second.
Second.
Trustee Smith. Discussion. Yes.
Mike, you probably answer this. Why do we decide to rename the treatment plant? Oh, what was the sense behind it?
Well, I will tell you what made us look at this right now, and that was at the last conversation that we had at the board level. I think you were questioning the sign.
Right.
So we talked about the sign. There was some discussion as to whether or not the treatment plant would be named to bring it back up into that, the realm of what we're doing now at the treatment plant. So from there, I'm going to turn it over to Director Kaplan to answer the rest of that.
There is a memo in your packet from the.
Hold on, you're not turned on.
Sorry, Rach, I know how much you like this. I just completely forgot about it.
Okay, so there is a memo in your packet from the treatment plant manager
Okay,
that explains the different processes that are now being undertaken today, as opposed to when it was called a pollution control facility. And it's more appropriate for what we do now with the nutrient removal and the phosphorus removal to call it a treatment plant, a wastewater treatment plant, rather than a pollution control, because we do more than pollution control today.
that makes sense. I mean, I was questioning I guess who asked to change the name? Was it something that just, we do it now or never, or is it?
I think it's this is an older name that's being used. Most plants today use wastewater treatment plant facility. That's what is the typical name used. A pollution control is more from a throwback from the 70s and the 80s.
It's then, how did we come up with the name itself? I mean, was this
We looked at the IEPA applications who already have permits under this name, and we also looked across the country to see what other plants were used, and the majority of them are being called wastewater treatment plant.
other countries? Okay.
No, across the country.
Oh,
Yeah.
it took a long time to do this then. I was just curious the amount of time and what we had to do to get that far for a name. That's all. All right, thank you.
Trustee Light, one of the biggest concerns, I think, was, and Director Kaplan had expressed this to me, that as we made the change, that we didn't run afoul of the IEPA requirements by calling it something that may have put us into a different realm of requirements and permit requirements. So they wanted to be very careful about that when they picked the name.
Oh, that makes sense. I get it. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Resolution RES 2021-R-76 is approved. New business number 7, that is 16 on consent agenda.
13.
Is 13?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. A resolution to approve and authorize execution of the First Amendment to the Maintenance and Security Services Agreement between F-E-Moran Security Solutions LLC, DBA, Midco System, now known as Securities Electronic Security Incorporation, and the Village of Glendale Heights, RES 2021-R-76.
78.
78. Can I get a motion to approve RES 2021 -R-78? Yes, Mr. Smith.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Mr. Siddiqui. Resolution, it was 13, RES 2021
You have to call for discussion.
R-78. Discussion?
Mike?
Yes.
Where are these cameras being placed that we have? I guess that's you again. I'm sorry, I'm just throwing you right back under there. I'm sorry.
Trustee Light, there's one at the back of the treatment plant on a pole that oversees all the filter beds, and there's one also at the front near the top office, and they're there for security reasons.
So it just covers the basic, so
But
nobody's,
we can fairly see well the operations. We can zoom in and pan around, so we can see quite a lot with them.
okay, I didn't know if they were internal or just,
No, they're outside, but
They're
they can pan and tilt, and we can zoom in.
okay, perfect.
And roll call, please.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Resolution RES 2021-R-78 is approved. New business number 8. 8 is 16, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. A resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award and authorizing the execution of a contract for Parkway Tree Trimming Services, RES 2021-R-81. Can I get a motion to approve resolution RES 2021-R-81? Yes, Mr. Light.
So moved.
Mr. Pojek.
Second.
Second, Mr. Pojek. Roll call vote.
Discussion, please.
Discussion. Yes, Mr. Light.
Oh, sorry. All the parkway trees, I just had residents ask me about a lot of parkway trees. Will that include more or less the shrubs? Because some of the parkways have like, well, it looks like a tree, but it's not quite a full tree. It's a lower, much,
Hasn't quite gotten there yet.
yeah.
I'm going to let Keith answer that.
Yeah, so this particular bid is for the overhead tree trimmings in the different over roads and stuff. This wouldn't include that part of the tree trimming.
All right, so it's not really the residential per se, or is it just above, just the road on the residential side?
It's the parkway trees and it's the ones that are over the street. So these are the ones to make sure that all the dead branches and stuff that are over the streets that are of a danger in that area get trimmed. We have been doing this project. This is one that we do in the wintertime, and we kind of go through the entire town throughout about a 5-year period.
All right, I remember now. Okay, perfect.
Yes, Mr. Pojek.
Keith, have we used these people before?
I am not certain if we have used Winkler. It's been a few years though.
So you have used them before?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
And Trustee Light?
Yes.
Resolution RES 2021-R-81 is approved. We will continue with executive.
Item 9? It was removed, 18 was removed from the consent.
Yes.
It is now item 9 under new business.
Oh, item 9 is 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. A motion to approve the allocation of the first year of Alago Energy Community Contribution from the Electric Aggregation Program to be used to fund the community garden project through the Parks Development Fund 18, and this is 18. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2020, approve,
It's just a motion, yes.
Oh.
We need a motion to approve, yes.
a motion to approve? Yes.
So moved.
Trustee Pat.
Second.
Trustee Pojek, second. Discussion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I want to know if we can use this money for some other purposes, or do we have to use it for community garden?
The community contribution that's made by Illigo Energy can be used for anything that the village wants to use it for.
Okay,
When the Illigo Energy project was brought forward, one of the things that was done with it is that we use nothing but green energy for the energy coming into the village of those residents that are signed up with Illigo. So staff had a concept that it would be a good thing to utilize the money generated from that to have some type of a tangible project that the community could see. And it seemed to make sense that it would be something green to go along with the concept of Illigo Energy providing green power to the community.
yeah, I mean, I was just wondering because I believe a month ago, Chief Doug presented about a flock safety camera which can be installed on the gateways of the Glendale Heights, and he also gave us an example of city of Elmhurst where they really reduced the crime by having those cameras. So I'm just wondering, and those cameras are really not that expensive. They are, I believe, 2,500. Yeah, and it will help our police department a lot by, tracking down those bad guys who are trying to enter the Glendale Heights. And also, just having those cameras will send a clear and loud message to all the bad people that Glendale Heights has cameras. So we better, if we are going over there, then there is someone is monitoring us. So I believe it's, how much is the amount? It's like 108,000?
We receive $109,000 from Illigo
Yeah,
Energy, and that's
because-
each year for 2 years. So
Yes.
there'll be another allocation next year.
Okay, so, because this community garden would be only for the summertime, I believe, correct? Like if there is gonna be a garden, then it's.
Yes.
like 3 or 4 months we are looking.
Correct.
And we are spending all that money to that garden. So I think we should, or if maybe we should maybe use some of the money to the community garden, and I'm open for the discussion, but I really like to spend maybe for the safety of the town, because in my area, last year or maybe a couple of years ago, there were some break-ins into the house, and I was discussing this to Chief Doug about this, and when he presented this, really a cheap, afforded way of monitoring. And if you go and look at their website, I think City of Houston, if I'm not mistaken, did they did some, and they really control the crime in in their area by just having those cameras installed. And those cameras are not kind of like a Big Brother cameras. They are only going to monitor the number plate for the bad guys. Not every residence should be worried that we are monitoring them. It's only when any bad person or any person whose car has a criminal car or someone enters, then the police department get notified, and they know that this guy is over there, so they're going to come and check him. Mr. Doug, if you can give a little bit of the.
So many communities surrounding Glendale Heights are using these cameras at various locations, malls, highways, roadways, subdivisions with easy in and out. Flock has streamlined the license plate reader for what it is. We presented to Neighborhood Watch just different ways of that we can help make the community safer, and license plate readers are honestly a cheap investment for homeowner associations and villages and malls and that kind of stuff. And the Reader's Digest version is it captures license plates. We sign an agreement with the company, and if a license plate goes through their system, their camera, that's already entered into our leads database system, then it notifies us that there's a stolen car going through the intersection or that. If there's a crime that is committed, then we're able to go back and look at every license plate that came through that subdivision and try and track down suspects. So, to your point, it's not a Big Brother issue where we're just looking at everything. We only get notified if a car is entered into a stolen auto database, or if retrospect there's a crime committed, we can go back and look for vehicles that's on the public roadway, so there's really no invasion of privacy anyway.
So let me ask you this, Chief, a couple of years ago in my neighborhood, when there are maybe 3 or 4 houses break-ins, let's say if we have these cameras over there, how much helpful it would be for you, and how much money, let's say, we saved, like when you are going to those, after those gypsies and getting the, all those things done.
Well, in the incidents in your neighborhood, we would have identified suspects much sooner.
Okay.
And we identified suspects, but it took a long time, and they committed literally hundreds of burglaries throughout northern Illinois. Yeah. We actually had a tracker on their car when they came back into your neighborhood,
yeah,
which is how we chased them out of your neighborhood. But so we knew when they were coming in. That the license plate readers would allow us to have much faster information to facilitate investigations in a much more efficient manner, because we have the information almost instantaneously. It also would notify us if we entered their license plate, because they're suspects in a burglary, into the system when it entered any geographic area that we submitted.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Pojek.
Yeah, Chief, I read that article about Houston. That's a very high crime rate area. There's probably 1 or 2 areas in this village that can probably use a camera like that. But then I read another article regarding, there's a lot of controversy, you're invading people's privacy. Did you read about that?
Well, I understand the argument. I disagree with the argument because it's really not invading anybody's private space. All the information is taken from public roadways. So I understand the concept and the argument. I don't think the argument really holds much water in a public environment when you're on a public roadway. There's nothing keeping us from putting a video camera up there or a pole camera up there or any other camera system we have now to capture license plates. This just does it in a much more efficient manner, and they developed the software to help make the streamline much easier.
Yeah, I talked to one of the officers in Bloomingdale, and he suggested that maybe you and Frank would split the cost, because access to Lake Street and Army Trail Road to the expressways. Did he ever talk to you about that?
No,
Okay.
I'm sure I'll bring it up to Frank.
Maybe
at
it's
some
coming up. Or that's all I got to say.
Trustee Pat.
Doug, how much do these cost?
They're $2,500 per camera.
2,500?
So how many do you think we need in the city?
Well, we're currently working with other areas, the private entities, to help us get cameras on their private property that they would pay for and give us access to. Putting them throughout the community, we would need, one camera covers 2 lanes. So you really need, 2 cameras eastbound, 2 cameras westbound if you're looking at North Avenue. In the homeowner association areas, I would, if I'm getting way ahead of where we're at, I wasn't really expecting this conversation tonight, but I would be looking at splitting the cost, not facilitating the cost around the whole village. I'd be looking at splitting costs with homeowner association to make it $1,250 apiece instead of us paying the $2,500. Because it's a big benefit to the homeowner association as well, and the subdivisions and the neighborhoods to have that level of comfort and safety, knowing that, license plates are captured as they come in the neighborhoods. So if I had to give an estimate of how many cameras we need throughout the village, I'd probably say 15 to 20.
Okay.
Yes, Ms. Pat.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why can't we got $100,000 coming?
109 this year, yes.
109. So why can't we take some of that money and look into the cameras and take the rest of the money and put it in the garden?
It's up to the board. If that's what the board would like to do,
mean-
if that's the direction, that's not a problem. Chief, is there an annual cost to those?
2,500.
2,500 annually?
Yes.
So that's an ongoing cost?
Yes.
It's not just that we're buying it for 2,500 and it stays
No,
up
it's
there?
it's an annual cost. That includes the installation, the maintenance, the replacement, the software, all the updates. It's a fixed fee per year per camera.
So that's an ongoing cost. That's not a one-time
Correct.
expense.
Keith, I have a
So
question.
that's for all the cameras. I mean, if we had 20, that's a $2,500 fee for the whole year for all of them?
Yep. Oh, no, per camera.
Per camera.
Oh, per camera?
Yeah,
Yeah,
per
it's
camera.
expensive.
Potentially
So it's
$50,000.
50,000.
Yeah. Which is,
That's a different story now.
well,
Now-
so here's where technology has come in the last 10 years. So Elmhurst instituted a program with cameras and license plate readers throughout the city of Elmhurst several years ago, and it cost them $500,000, right? They can upfit what they're doing today with these, and it's a fraction of that cost. So that's where technology has come, and that's how price decreases have come with technology. I wouldn't be looking to go with 20. I was probably looking more into 10 just to start with. And again, working with private companies, private businesses, and with the Homeowner Association to try and split that cost in half.
No, it still costs us about 10 grand a year,
Yeah.
At least
12
10,000 a
yeah,
year.
I mean, 12.5 or so.
12,000 a year.
Right.
So,
Well, there's a reason why I haven't approached anybody yet.
yeah, right, I can understand.
Because, you know,
I'm back at the garden now. I like the planting,
you know, I
the
think.
tomatoes right now.
I think there's a way to move this forward with cameras. And I think that, you know, we have some potential funding available here in the near future for cameras. And we need to work with some commitments from neighborhood groups and homeowner association to get them committed and work on what that cost is gonna be.
Trustee Pojek and then trustee
Keith, this
Schmidt.
is for you. What will the initial investment cost to get that garden started up next year? Bottom line,
So the preliminary plans that we've got that still can be negotiated and changed out, but that the school put together are in the neighborhood of $100,000.
so that takes care of that right from the get-go. How about the second year? What
For a
was-
garden?
So once the garden is in place, then there's the amount of upkeep goes away. This is the initial setup. I have a picture of what I sent out to everybody a month and a half ago. This is kind of the concept of the garden and location being Queen Bee School. It's got the raised beds, it's got lower beds, and then it's got an open area. It's also got a shelter, it's got water, rain barrel type water structure. So, I mean, it's an all-encompassing community garden that the people can go to and enjoy.
You gonna have hoses with,
There will be no water coming out of the building, but there will be different versions of rain barrels. It's like a giant rain barrel that they're going to collect the water from. And then worst case is if that rain barrel runs out of water, if we're not getting rain, we can fill it just like we can fill it from our tank.
that was my question. Okay, thanks, Keith.
Part of the structure is to facilitate the collection of the rainwater as well.
Correct.
Trustee Schmidt, please.
Yes, Chief, is there a minimum number of cameras that we would have to commit to?
10.
Okay. So basically $25,000, and then we go up from there.
Yeah, again, I'm hoping that some of the car dealerships, you know, just need them for their own car dealerships and would pay for them themselves. I'm hopeful that homeowner association and neighborhood groups would be willing to split the costs with us to, you know, add a level of safety to their residential areas. So I was hopeful that it wouldn't be the, you know, full 25,000. I was more in the 8 to 12 area.
Okay.
So why don't we start as an
Trustee,
experimental?
Pat.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Pat.
Go ahead. I think
Oh,
you,
I was talking, Keith, if we okay this garden tonight, I mean, this is going to the park committee, right?
Yeah, so what'll happen, the next step is that I actually will come back to the village board with a discussion of kind of the timelines. We've been working behind the scenes to get all of our stuff together, and then we'll either have to have a special meeting of the Parks Committee, or I'll bring it back here as an agenda item so that everybody can have that discussion, so that we can all agree to whatever the plans are. This is being done in cooperation with District 16, so we need to make sure that as we proceed, we're working with them.
Well, I'd rather see you go to the park committee first, get it all ready to go, and then bring it to the board.
That is not a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Siddiqui, please.
yeah, I mean, I just want these cameras like as a experimental, as police chief said, that maybe 10. And we will see how much it benefits our police department and how much it's really help us in monitoring and so something, if we can start thinking about or since we have the money and it's like maybe taking 20% from that fund, I think that should give us to start the program.
Trustee Pojek, please.
Siddiqui, this is not etched in stone yet. This is just a concept with these cameras. We're getting ahead of ourselves, I think. we don't know exactly that 100,000, what it's gonna cost for the initial startup with the garden.
So
So let's just-
here's what I'll commit to. We will start in the next couple of weeks talking to the businesses that have inquired about them and start going, Neighborhood Watch starts up again. We'll start working with the homeowner associations and the apartment complexes where we have a lot of high volume and a lot of our crime takes place with stolen autos and burglaries and that kind of stuff. And see where we're at with how much participation they're willing to put into the program. And, you know, if we can get 4 or 5 or 6 of them paid for by private entities and private business and some of the bigger apartment complexes we have in town, then our cost reduces significantly. So we'll start working the next couple of weeks, Trustee Siddiqui, on communicating with the private companies and private businesses and the apartment complexes and the home associations to see where they're at with finances and how much they can afford and how much they're willing to allow these cameras to be, you know, on their property and monitoring our roadways.
Trustee Smith, please.
Thank you.
Okay, based on what I hear, I move that we table this item until the next board meeting and let the Keith and Chief collect more information so we can make an informed decision.
We already have a motion on the floor to approve.
Right.
Trustee Meritato made the motion and trustee Pojek seconded, so we do have a motion on the floor.
A motion to table would be in order as a, secondary motion, but it needs a second.
Who's second? Second motion?
Second.
Yeah, Mr. Pojek.
Okay.
Any discussion on the motion to table?
So what are we doing here? We're gonna table both of them?
I
Okay,
think
we-
so. We gotta find out what it's gonna cost initially from
But
Keith,
it,
and then the chief is gonna do some research on this.
The main motion is to move funds from the Eligo Energy into Parks Development Fund. And that secondary motion is to table that so that you'll take that up at the next meeting once you get some more information on the camera program.
Not only camera programs, but Keith can have a better handle on costs.
I got a question. I mean, we got $100,000 for the garden. We're gonna have a garden sooner or later, so it's gonna cost us, if we don't take that money, transfer it, which is kinda like, free money. I'm not, like free money. So why not put in the garden? Because in the long run, it's gonna cost us $100,000 either way, because I guess everybody wants to garden, or
Right.
so it's gonna cost us $100,000 out of our pocket later than when we got the money now.
I think I see what Pat's saying.
Get
Go
the
ahead
garden
with-
first.
Do the garden.
Get the garden
And then
first.
have the chief take his time, put together a program, talk to other possible entities that might want to join us in the camera project, split this off into 2 different directions, and approve the garden tonight so we can get moving on what we need to do, or at least get something motion going. That's what I think he's trying to say.
Well, no, then Doug can work on the cameras
Right, get
and
an
get us a
idea.
price, and then bring it to us.
Right. Meanwhile, we get the
In
garden
the
going.
meantime, we get the garden going.
Yeah.
Procedurally, you have a motion and a second on a motion to table. You need to vote on that. And if it's approved, you won't be able to pass this motion, the main motion, tonight. If the motion to table does not pass, then you're back to the main motion. But you need to vote on the motion to table since it was moved and seconded.
Okay.
Roll call vote.
Question,
Yes, Mr. Smith.
can I withdraw that motion to table?
You absolutely can do that.
Okay, then I withdraw my motion to table.
And the seconder?
Second.
That was-
No, who seconded the motion?
Pojek?
You want to withdraw your second of the
Yeah, I'll
motion to
withdraw it.
table? Okay.
Let's get going on this.
Now you have the main matter in front of you, the motion to approve the allocation of the first year to the Parks Development Fund.
Right.
And you've been involved in discussion on that main motion. Is there any more discussion, Mayor, on that item?
No. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Motion is approved. We now go to the public discussion of agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda item?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ed Pope, Wayne Avenue. I have two things. One, first, I want to commend you guys because I was sitting here really disappointed about the community garden. I think we waited a long time for it, so I'm glad you guys put that through because taking 50,000, although I think those cameras are really going to be helpful, but we've waited a long time for the garden, so it'll be nice that Doug can bring something forward and then, you know, find a way of splitting it with the HOAs and the businesses so that we're not taking the money from the garden fund. So thank you for that. The other thing is, you're talking about, I think it's Rachel, when you're talking about renaming the water treatment plant, is that going to include new signage for the building? My concern is that, you know, I take my grandson to that park almost every day. And, you know, I like the way how everything just kind of blends in. I know it's older, but the treatment plant's in the middle of our neighborhood. So I like that it just kind of all blends in. So if you're going to be changing, are you going to be changing out any signage? And if so, can you keep it as minimalistic as possible so that you still remember that we have to live there, we're there every day, so that it's not some big, like, you know, water treatment facility sign?
I think we were thinking of something along the lines of the park entry signs, something like that. With the
Oh, like the
name.
wooden ones?
Yes, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, just something so that it blends in, you know, because, I mean, literally, I walk past there and I forget I'm even walking past it some days because it's just nicely blends in with the neighborhood.
It's not going to be in the next couple of years because there's going to be a lot of work going down there.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you.
So no flashing neon sign?
No,
Okay.
no flashing neon signs.
Just checking.
Thank you.
I would like to add something to public discussion as a resident. Keith, has anybody checked with COD, which we all contribute to, for their horticulture department? They have a huge horticulture department. And Elgin Community College also has a green program. As a matter of fact, you could be certified as a green building inspector. And they're always looking for things for their students to do. And if nothing else, what used to be Davia, what's the new name?
Technical Center of DuPage, I think. something.
Technical Center of DuPage also has a horticulture department. And you get free labor with those. Thank you.
Great idea.
We will continue with executive session to discuss.
Mayor, are you going to recess into executive session, which means you have to come back to adjourn? Or are you going to adjourn into executive session and then you come back for the committee of the whole? Mike, do you have a preference?
The mayor's request was that we would recess to executive session and come
Okay.
back for the adjournment and committee of the whole.
Okay. So you need to call for a motion. Do you want me to read it?
Yes.
Or do you want to read it?
Usually they read it.
Okay.
Whoever's making the motion to adjourn to executive session,
Recess.
recess, I'm sorry.
So we need a motion, somebody make a motion to recess to executive session to cover the two items that are listed on the agenda.
I have a question before we do that. Can't we just go into the committee to hold and then go into the executive session? Or does executive session have something to do with the committee of the whole?
To my knowledge, they're not related.
Why don't we just go into the committee of the whole?
Because
we
the
always
mayor,
do that.
because the mayor wants to separate the committee, the whole meeting to this meeting. He
Is
wants to
that
do
true?
it-
Is that what you want to do?
This is what.
I think you've always done that.
He already did that.
That's been your protocol, is it not?
No, we go
Let a
at
committee
the,
of the
Going
whole.
right into the committee of the whole.
and then we do the executive session instead of having these people
Okay.
sitting here.
Well, you need to vote to either recess or not recess. And if you vote not to recess, then somebody can move to go into the committee of the whole.
The way we usually do it. Okay.
Yes, Ms.
I make a motion not to recess, and we'll go into the committee of the whole.
I second
Second.
that.
Second,
We're recessing
Trustee
to committee of the whole.
second.
You're recessing to the committee of the whole then?
That is correct, sir.
Yes. And you can, you have a second on that, so you can vote by acclamation on that, Mayor?
Yeah.
You don't need a roll call for that.
Okay.
All in favor, you
all
ask
in
for all in
favor?
favor.
Yes.
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 All opposed?
Any opposed? No.
You have to announce that the motion's carried.
A motion is carried for whole committee of whole.
Yes.
Call this committee of the whole meeting of August 5th, 2021 to order. Will the clerk please note who is present?
Noted.
Thank you. Does the board have any additions to the agenda? Trustee Light.
Fireworks, parks, facilities, and streets.
Okay, is that all one item?
We'll make it, well, yeah, we'll call it all of it. We'll just talk about it separately.
Okay, fireworks, parks,
Facilities and streets.
and streets. Okay. Trustee Siddiqui?
Online water billing,
I'm sorry?
online water billing.
Online water billing?
Yeah.
I got one.
Trustee Mertado?
Wait, I'm thinking about, senior center.
Thought you were having a senior moment there for a minute.
Right, exactly.
Trustee
I'm getting a
Pojek?
lot of those.
I guess you saved the best for last. Ordinance and secondhand notification.
Trustee Schroeder? Anything for, okay. Okay, is there anybody in the public that wants to make any comment? Mr. Pope?
It's not a comment. Trustee Schmidt, I had a neighbor that is kind of on hard times, and they need a vehicle. They don't have a vehicle. And I was talking, you guys approved the vehicle sale a couple weeks ago. I think the last meeting, maybe in July. But where do people go if they, I know you don't sell them through the village anymore, but where do they go if they want to look? Because usually, like when we did them on eBay, they got very good prices. So I told her to look, but you guys don't use your eBay anymore, so where would they go to look for those?
We sell them on GovDeals. It's a government website that, it's an auction website that we do, so, we're just getting ready to put it, we had to get them photographed and we had to take, take the decals off and do that kind of thing. So they're gonna be posted on GovDeals very shortly.
Is that govdeals.com, .org, do you know?
I believe it's GovDeals.com.
Okay, thanks. I was trying to help somebody out, and I couldn't figure out how you guys sold them.
Darcy, is it possible to when we have the auction and we know when the auction is, that we can post it on our website, a link to that particular auction?
Well, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I don't see why we can't do that.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Is there anybody else?
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Board. I'm Jennifer Hopwood from Gulfview Drive. I'm here tonight to urge the board to not accept the recommendations from the ad hoc committee regarding the village's real estate transfer program. To me, as a resident, I understand the value the program brings to this community and our homes. It ensures the dwellings are to code and are safe to those living in them and should provide peace of mind to our residents. While the property maintenance issues identified in those inspections bring compliance to ensure the community remains looking nice. Changing many items on the inspection list to information only will not lead to compliance, but rather more complaints from neighbors and trustees to community development to act on property maintenance code violations. On a personal level, I have seen family go through so much stress and spend tens of thousands of dollars to rectify issues with their new home that they had purchased. If they had purchased it in Glendale Heights and gone through the current program that we have now, they'd be in a much better place. I feel that the ad hoc committee looked into the program because of approximately maybe 40 to 60 complaints that were on Facebook in recent months. However, the village performs approximately 20 to 30 inspections a week. Multiply that by 52 weeks in the year. Those 40 to 60 complaints are a very small fraction of the amount of inspections performed annually by this village. Most sales go through the process with no issues, and the new residents are happy, and they move into their home, and the village never hears from them again. The committee began the review of the program with what could be omitted rather than start at the beginning and try to reach out to those that did complain and see what went wrong, if anything. Selling and buying a home is potentially an emotional event that not many people go through too many times in their lifetime. Had the village reached out to those with the complaints, perhaps the findings would have indicated that it was an error on the seller's side due to misinformation from the agent or the person at the inspection, or perhaps it was relayed incorrectly, or maybe the person just didn't hear what was being said due to the emotional effect on them. A specific complaint did get mentioned at the meetings. It was in regards to shag carpet, I believe. Once we found out the address on that complaint, there was no mention of the carpet. The board would be doing a large disservice to the community to approve the recommended changes to the real estate transfer program, and I personally feel as a resident that 2 meetings is not enough time to dismantle or change an existing program that has proven its worth to this village. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, we will move along to the first item, the committee recommendations, the transfer of real estate inspections program ad hoc committee, a recommendation to modify the program. Would this be the chairman or?
This would be, Joanne has a presentation.
Okay.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if Chairman Meritato wanted to speak or not. In your packet, there's a memo that summarizes the recommendations of the ad hoc committee. The committee met on June 17th and again on July 1st to review the real estate transfer inspection program and make modifications if necessary. The committee made several recommendations. The first being that the inspection checklist, which currently we have one checklist for both rental properties and real estate transfer inspections, we used to have two inspection checklists. We combined them into one. The committee recommended that they be split back out, and the current checklist be for rental properties only, and a new checklist be created for real estate transfer program. The checklist is attached to your memo this evening, the checklist that the committee recommended. Second recommendation is that the real estate transfer inspection program checklist should be mostly informational, except for items that are life safety and critical life safety items and work done without a permit. The village attorney provided an opinion that if we conduct the inspections and work is found that was required to have a permit and did not have a permit, that we are obligated to identify that and follow up with the permit requirement. So any work that was conducted without a permit would need a permit. Critical life safety items would require to be repaired, and other items that are not critical would be informational only. If that were to occur, the committee also recommended that we be sure to have both the buyer and seller acknowledge that they received a copy of the report. That way, if it's informational only and only provided to the seller, there would be no incentive to provide that information to the buyer, and the buyer would be unaware of the code violations in the home. To that end, if it's approved, then a acknowledgement would be created, a new form would be created that would need to be signed by both the seller and the buyer, that they've received a copy of the inspection report. Finally, the committee also recommended changing the policy to, the village currently the village currently requires permits for remodeling or replacing cabinets and vanities. Because of majority of those replacements also include plumbing and electrical, the committee recommended that we not require permits if someone is strictly remodeling or replacing cabinets, vanities, so kitchen countertops and cabinets and bathroom vanities. But if then on real estate transfer it's found that additional work had been done, a permit would be required for those items. If the committee of the whole provides direction to move forward with the ad hoc committee's recommendation, the ordinance would need to be modified, and we would bring that forward at the next village board meeting, and as well as create a policy that we would also ask the village board to approve the policy, and the policy would include the specific checklist. The checklist has evolved over time. This would be a specific checklist that would only be able to be changed if the village board approves a change to the checklist itself. And then we would also need to continue to improve our communications with the public. We strive to communicate. We have brochures, but continue that effort was another item mentioned by the committee. So that is the summary. I don't know if Trustee Light and Trustee Meritato, if I missed anything from your perspective?
I just want to say that you did an outstanding job for us. I mean, the committee did the work. I mean, you gave us plenty of material to look over. So I just want to say thank you for a job well done.
Thank you.
And we did have a public hearing. Some people showed up for it. So, I mean, this is what we came up with. So it's up to the board now, get it passed.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Somebody want to make a motion then? Trustee Pojek.
I'll make a motion that we accept ad hoc's recommendations.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes?
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
President Coker?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, next on the agenda, Chief Kalia updates.
Thank you, Trustee Schmidt, Mayor and Board. So as many of you know, Monday, Tuesday, and early part of Wednesday, we were in a CALIA review process for our fourth accreditation, third reaccreditation through CALIA, which is our annual assessment. So in June.
Could you explain what CALIA is?
CALIA is you're going to put me on the spot and tell me what the acronym is, because I don't remember.
Commission on the Accreditation of Law Enforcement
There you go,
Agencies.
Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies.
All right.
I say CALIA. So CALIA is a national organization that puts out best practices in law enforcement and certifies law enforcement agencies that meet all of the standards put forth in the best practices of law enforcement that they critique. There's about 435 standards or so that they put out that we have to meet a certain percentage of those. Every year we go through a policy review. Katie Pentecost, our accreditation coordinator, you know, maintains our policies, maintains our procedures, literally updates policies and procedures every day, especially as all new laws come out and new mandates come out and new training stuff comes out. All of our policies and procedures have to be updated on a regular basis to maintain compliance, but also so we have the right policy in place in case something happens, right? So it's a full-time job. Katie has done yeoman's work in keeping everything going, especially in Illinois with all the new laws that have come place in the last 2 years. In June, we went through all of our standard reviews. A team of assessors literally dials into her computer where all of our standards, where all the policies are at, all of our files are kept for us meeting all these mandates. And we made a goal 2 years ago to be 100% compliant with every standard and mandate that CALEA has. And we finished this cycle as only one of a handful of departments in the country to be 100% compliant with all mandates within CALEA. Quite an accomplishment for Katie, quite an accomplishment for everybody that supports her. She reached her goal with a lot of help from all the officers and other staff members to help her achieve that, because there's a couple that involve a lot of work. So she set a goal for herself to do that. She's achieved that. She deserves all the credit in the world for getting us to the point we're at with accreditation. Your best hire, Mike.
We stole her from Keith.
Right. Too bad for you. Monday and Tuesday, we had assessors, generally speaking, they come on site and they meet with stakeholders from the community and from the community at large, not just trustees and elected officials, but the community at large. And then they spend literally 2 days with me and the department. They do ride-alongs, they do interviews, they talk to people, they meet people, they talk to businesses. Unfortunately, they're still under COVID protocols. So we had to do everything remotely, and we had a bunch of Zoom meetings. We had some phone-in sessions. They talked to several of you here in front of me. Many of you came and talked to them, which we appreciate sincerely. They talked to Bruce Christian from the hospital. They talked to school board members. They talked to superintendents from the school. They talked to all kinds of people. They're making phone calls this week to just random businesses to see how the police are doing. So not only were we compliant with all of our policies, we asked them to really look into our wellness policies for officers and our peer support. After all the interviews they did and everybody they spoke to, they came back and said that, you know, our peer support model and our wellness policies should be the model for every department that moves forward. I agree with them, because we put a lot of time and effort into our peer support and our wellness for our officers, and I tell everybody our model should be the model. But anyway, they came back and said that they can't find anything to critique us on negatively. So very positive response from not only the policy review, but from the assessors that did all the interviews and did all the talking to all the residents and business leaders and stakeholders throughout the community. We should have a report in 2 to 3 weeks, according to the person who's in charge of writing it. Once we have that report in hand, I will certainly share it with everybody on the board so that you can see their review firsthand and not just listen to me tell you how, I won't say it. But you'll have that for you to read in he said 2 weeks, probably make 3 to 4 weeks. So you'll have that in hand as soon as I get it. But I thank all of you for taking the time when you did speak to them. If you did speak to our assessors, it made a big difference in everything. The community involvement from everybody, by happenstance, it happened to be the same week as National Night Out. So we made a video for them to send for National Night Out. We sent them some pictures. All the events that we've had going on throughout the village this year have been, the attendance has been fantastic. The officers that we have here are very energetic, very community-oriented. So things are in a really good path for the police department and the village at whole with the officers. So they're not here tonight, but Police Commission, thank you for hiring some really good people. So.
Chief, In 2008, I was honored by Glendale Heights to attend Chief Marin at the time in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to see the first time Glendale Heights was awarded. And I was very, very impressed with the presentation, with the whole entire concept. And I'm very happy we have a very, very fine police department to this day, and let's keep it going, Chief.
Thank you. You're welcome to join me in Jacksonville, Florida, but
Did you hear that? Who's gonna pay? I'll go.
August.
You are.
Doug's paying.
you can't stay with me, but you can.
Where's Bill Pohl?
I can't stay with you, don't trust me?
I only share a room with one person. Anything else?
Chief,
Thank you.
thank you very
Well
much.
done, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along, trustee Light with fireworks.
Okay. I just wanted to bring up the talk about fireworks, that we possibly, I believe the rest of the board would agree with me as far as having somewhat of a fireworks display. Picking a day that would work well, like maybe like the last day of Oktoberfest, that evening, whatever the day that is in September. And maybe have some sort of a display that we could at least treat the residents to after a very long, hard lockdown.
Were you thinking the last day of Oktoberfest or the day of the car show?
That's the same day.
I'm getting a shake of the
It's
head
not the
back
same
there.
day? Oh, my rain day, no.
We already.
No, that would be the last day of, the car show, whatever the car show is. I thought it's always the same as the Oktoberfest ending, but I changed it, I guess. Okay, fine, I missed it. But yeah, I don't know what the board thinks about that. I think it'd be a great idea, Pat?
Just
Input?
I thought we were already doing that, Keith.
Yeah.
Didn't you get a price on it?
So we have gotten proposals to put something together for that. So we do have a proposal to put together. It just hasn't been finalized.
Or we're working towards it then. Perfect.
And then, of course, will come before the board to be finalized.
Awesome.
Correct. And we did not look at a show that's the caliber that we do on the night of Fest to adhere to what the board had desired. So we did something that's going to be a little bit more cost efficient.
Even better. All right, and then,
Okay,
Excuse me, trustee Light, would that be advertised then? So you're gonna have a huge crowd or just gonna be local?
well, I'm sure it would be somewhat local. I mean, it's not like we have our 50,000 people that we normally have for our
No, word gets
fest.
out, and it gets out fast, especially for our fireworks.
Yeah, I would like it to at least be known that it's gonna happen. I mean, I don't want it to go out like 8, 9, 10, 12 months in advance, but I'd like it to at least be known so residents could at least know about it so they can enjoy it. Make time to at least get family together if they wanna get family together for it. Share it, basically.
Keith, didn't we have a plan for that? For advertisement?
That would be the part that we're still working on.
Okay.
We did utilize a very toned-down plan to advertise the fact that we were going to be having fireworks last year at the tree lighting ceremony. And that was more successful than I think we thought it was going to be, with the number of people that came out for that. If you recall, we had traffic jams on Fullerton Avenue as we tried to get that started. So I think working with PR, with David and Nicole, we'll work on a plan to make sure that our residents know, but that we don't get too out of control, because it won't be that huge display that we have at the end of Fest. It's a 16-minute display with no more than 3-inch shells.
Correct.
So it's a much smaller display than what we would normally have.
We had a fireworks display at Christmas time,
Yes.
and I'm not on Facebook, but I got a lot of calls. It was a waste of money, and I don't know if you got that, but that's what I heard. A lot of people were unhappy.
We had a lot of people that were, we saw some people that were unhappy, but we had a lot that were very happy.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna satisfy everybody, but I'm just bringing that up.
Do we have any backup plan or anything, because the current situation of Delta variant, how it's spreading, And what will happen if we are going back to the lockdown or if the state does not recommend to have crowds? So do we have anything in that consideration?
So as always, we would have a force majeure in the contract with the fireworks company, and that would allow us to be able to get out of a contract due to
Okay.
that type of situation, just as we did last year.
Okay.
Anybody else?
When
Mary?
were you proposing to have this? At the end of
The car show.
Oktoberfest or at the end of the car show?
The car show. I was
Car show?
mistaken. I thought the fest ended the same day that the car show was on, but it's not.
And what kind of money are we looking at?
Yeah.
They don't know yet.
The proposal that we have, that we received from the fireworks company is for $15,000.
50 or 15?
15, 1 5.
Oh, all right, 15. Thank you.
And normally for Fest, we expend $35,000 on both nights. Yeah, combined,
Nice, yeah.
combined.
So 15,000 in one night, it will be gone, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and but for cameras, we really don't have any money for the whole year. That's, okay,
Separate item.
yeah.
That would cover the cost of 6 cameras, the 15.
I mean, yeah, but that's still the starting and, as the
Getting
chief
off
said-
subject here, people.
We're getting off, yeah, we're getting
Yeah,
off the
okay.
subject.
Hi.
Okay, trustee Light, Parks.
Parks, do we have an update on the possible building, which used to be the Taylor Building, Taylor Rental, as far as a new Parks building? Has that gotten moved along or forgotten, or?
I don't know that it's been forgotten, but it's not something that's currently been on the table and moving forward at this point.
I know we have like the 2 houses that are up here on Bloomingdale Road. We've got parks scattered all over the place. I know how difficult it is for these guys to find equipment and get stuff done. I know we got the COVID money coming in, if there was any way of allocating some of that, maybe to get a building or some home. I didn't know. It was just a question.
I can certainly look at different options and bring those back.
And then you said broken branches too while I'm on it. Some broken branches were in Reskin Park, a lot of them, by the bridge. I had to get those taken care of. Sorry. And then facilities was the next one I was talking about. Something came that I just started thinking about it with all the changes that we have and with upcoming buildings and stuff. We discussed it before about electric stations for rechargeable cars. I know the Ford just came out with the electric pickup truck and such like that. They're starting to move towards that era. Are we thinking about doing any charging stations within the complexes that we have? Is this something that we would look at for the future?
As we were putting together ideas for this Illigo Energy community contribution, because they are just a one-time contribution, and right now it's just for 2 years, that was one of the ideas that had been thrown about, is some type of a program to try and put some electrical recharging stations in for cars, whether it be here or grants for other locations at parks, et cetera. Because with the president's stated goal of 50% electric by 2030, we're going to need to have some recharging stations in order to be able to make that happen.
Yeah, it was just an idea. It just came to mind because I saw Ford introduce their new Lightning, and it's all electric, and I know how much we use electric, how much we can use a truck, maybe even electric truck like that and such. For the future, that's all I was asking, to really look forward towards the future.
We will definitely keep that on our horizon for capital improvements.
Mike,
If there's any grants
Buy a
available.
gas car.
Yeah,
Forget-
Mike,
forget electric.
7-Eleven is looking into putting stations, if they have the space for it, for recharging stations at the 7-Eleven stores.
Well, that's good.
I got that information already.
That's good to hear. And then the last one I had was streets.
One thing.
Oh, sorry.
Before we get off the subject, best get with Commonwealth Edison and make sure that they've got the capability of delivering. because having the outlets all over the place isn't gonna do us any good if they don't have the source to the Gazinta to put into the Gazeta.
The Gazinta is probably the most important part.
Right, so, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, good point. Very good point. And then streets, I just had upcoming project on Brandon. I had just a couple of residents, I discussed with Rachel earlier about a little more communication down in that area. I'm starting to get some questions about it. I know we're a little bit off, but they were worried about parking and other things like that. So I know Rachel said she would talk with the one set of residents, which would help out a lot. And then maybe getting a little bit of information out, just a preliminary, just to let them know what's going on. I know the contractor will, but like wait, they get a little paranoid over there, so I want to make sure we got it all taken care of. But that's all I had.
All right. Trustee Siddiqui.
Yeah, I want to draw the attention of the board about water billing. I try to go online and change the preference from receiving a paper bill to the e-bill, and I wasn't able to do that successfully. So when you go online for water bill, you have like three options: receive e-bill statement, receive paper statement, or receive e-bill and paper statement. So surprisingly, when I tried to pick the first one, which is e-bill only, it will goes to the second option automatically and does not even try or does not even save my first option. So I say, okay, maybe it's a glitch or something. So I say, okay, let me go to the second option. So when I go to the second option, which is receive paper bill, it gets saved without any problem. Now, I thought, okay, it's something, it's not right, because I'm also in IT. So I say, okay, let me go to the third option. So the third option, which is e-bill and paper bill, and my preference gets saved without any problem. So it tells me something that intentionally, or I don't know, the website, how it designed that it does not let the user save the first preference, which is I don't want any paper bill. I don't want to waste money on postage. All I need is a bill through my email, which is much efficient. It's going to save some money for city. So my only question is that company who, and I believe I talked to Bill about that, he already opened the ticket and they've been working with, but this issue is not resolved yet. So I would recommend that any expense of printing the bill and postage expense should be paid by that company, not by the city. Because if our resident want that option of sending their bill through the email, they should do it. They shouldn't be forced to choose the option 2 and 3. If option 1 is my choice, then I should be able to save that option and I should have that option. But if for some reason that website is doing, or whoever, that company who's maintaining that website, and we already opened the ticket with them, but they are not resolving the issue, then the city shouldn't be adhering the cost of postage and printing, because I believe that's, again, something which cities absorb. So we need to address that to that company and let them handle the cost.
I would expect that would partially be the way the contract with them is written, whether we have any recourse. It may take getting attorneys involved, in which case, well, anyway, I won't say anything more, Mike. Okay. But
So I know
I guess we shake up the
Finance Director Bill Poling was checking into this this week. in anticipation of a question today about the online water billing. We did meet with the representatives from Click2Gov, which is, I'm having a CLIA moment, Doug.
Yeah.
Central Square, thank you. We met with Central Square a couple of weeks ago, and so I'll let Director Polling take over.
We needed to get their attention, so from April, when we cut over from the previous credit card system to the one that we have now, we've been capturing the emails that residents, probably like yourself, Trustee Siddiqui, that have been sending us, expressing their frustration, not just with the inability to get the e-bill, but the inability to make changes to their wallet, and just general errors in general. So in a 2.5-month period of time, we captured 99 emails. We put those all on a flash drive. So when the sales representative came to visit us from North Carolina, we presented him with not a key to the city, but a flash drive with 99 complaints that we had registered. It got their attention. And the 3 primary issues that we've been having with the Click2Gov online water bill system, I can give you an update that 2 of the 3 have been resolved. That is per their email to me this afternoon, late this morning. Unfortunately, the 3rd item, which is the one that you specifically mentioned, Trustee, they're still working on. It's in their development team bureau right now, and they've promised that they'll have a resolution as fast as possible.
Okay.
But they knew that we were meeting tonight, and they knew that this issue was going to come up, and so they're expecting some feedback tomorrow.
Okay, great, thank you.
Bill? What,
Maritata.
when's your contract up to? They have a,
So we pay an annual maintenance fee with them. The software itself was purchased by the village in 1999, and additional modules are added to it. The purchase price is quite large. It's our annual maintenance is a fraction of what the actual software itself has cost us over the 20-some years that we've had it. Bill, if I go astray, please correct me. So while it is frustrating, the concept of trying to replace these current financial reporting software would be cost prohibitive in the end.
so,
And they know it.
so that means they got us to what, they have us in a trick bag, or, I mean, we can't get away from them? We can't get away from them?
That was the exact frustration that I expressed to them when we met with the representative from Central Square here. Because I told them that there is no way that the financial reporting system should ever be a topic of conversation at a village board meeting. It should be running in the background without anyone noticing it. And we should not have to deal with any comments at the village board meeting or from our residents that the software is not working properly. They understood that. However, we're 2 out of 3 for getting these items corrected. And those are the major ones. There are some smaller ones. And all in the Click2Gov module, correct, Bill?
That's correct.
So it is just this one module of Click2Gov. Unfortunately, it is the absolute most public side of the financial reporting software.
So these were done in 1999, correct? The purchase of this software?
Yes, and of course, there have been upgrades, et cetera, since then.
But the technology has moved so rapidly, and nowadays we are in much better shape and form. So have you ever tried any new company or asked any evaluation of our current system, that any new companies or who can evaluate we can, because really we cannot get hostage by this company just because they are running, and clearly I'm seeing that the frustration. I mean, I'm also in IT, and I spend maybe like an hour, and then I give up. I am just trying to change in my wallet my credit card, and I wasn't able to do it. And that's the same thing which the other residents are going through. So if they are really not hearing or not even giving any attention to our complaints, just because they think that because we run their finance system, software, whatever. So have we ever invite any other companies? Because now I know it's much more cheaper. It's not going to be that expensive which it used to be in 1999 because we have cloud, we have a lot of other ways around, companies, and it's much more smoother and much more better form. And they gave you the whole thing in nutshell, and it will be on the cloud, and you really don't have to worry about transferring the data and all those things. Aspects can be taken care of.
So in 1999, when we purchased this software, it was on an ASC 400.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm getting the right numbers there. And I don't know the date it was, but we have migrated all of that to the cloud. So this is a cloud-based solution.
Do you know the database which they are running on?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
I mean,
Bill, do you know the database that they run on?
The database is,
what is their backend, and or maybe I will get in touch with you. I don't want to put you on the spot, but yeah, I will get the. Yes.
So this is a company that has changed hands several times. They have kept up with the current systems. So it's it is a robust program. This is the issues that we're having is with one module of the program. So
When you say one module, it means like one module means like just on water billing. Is how many modules we have?
It's the Click2Gov module, which is
Okay.
what is the public face of,
Yeah, okay.
allows us to interface and take payments online, et cetera. That's the Click2Gov module. There are several other modules. We recently purchased a module which allows us to interface our payroll system so that we can go.
When we purchased that?
That was just recently.
From the same company?
A year and a half ago. It's a partner company that works with this particular company so that everything integrates and you have one data entry. So there are a number of different modules that we have placed on, and Bill will be able to talk better to the modules. I know we've used reporting software with Cognos, which is a very robust system for reporting. Bill, help me out.
there's the core financial system, there's a purchasing inventory system, there's a parking ticket module, there's a land parcel management application that's used in community development, there's a fixed asset module, there's an investment management module, there's more. Payroll, personnel.
Yeah, I would recommend to maybe form a committee or just to go through all their modules and what is the best option we have nowadays available. And because we really can't, I mean, this thing has been going on for the last 3 months and the way they are handling, and maybe we will get a better solution, who knows? So, it should be look over, and we really can't be just get hostage by this company which are running everything, and that since they know that we are running all their modules, so we can do. I believe we are putting too many eggs in the same basket, and that's really not a good idea.
Well, the idea behind having all of that is so that all of the systems talk together.
Yep. And nowadays, I mean, it's really not that complicated. I mean, it's not has to be one company. I mean, if we have Microsoft talking to Google and Google are talking to Facebook, it's all integrated. It's really simple. We always have a door open, and you can. It's not necessary means that we always hire Microsoft just to take care of everything because now people wants to have more choice. They don't want to be dictated, and I think now companies are realizing that it's not necessary means maybe we should just explore, and we will find companies which can work, and maybe in the contract we should put that, okay, at any time, if one of your section or if this is not working, we can call off the contract and we can move to different company. But in this one, I'm seeing we have put all our eggs in their basket. So basically, they are taking advantage of it. It's in the name of integration, they cannot blackmail us, because I know we can integrate. There is always one database can talk to the other databases. It's no more just like Oracle, because or Oracle or nothing. No, there is always a gate open for the other to talk to the Oracle, and so in simple way, I would say that it's not like you have to have a one company just because you want to make sure that your database and your data system or your parking system are all integrated together. That's not necessarily means that, it should be just one company. But again, that's something which we cannot just keep talking. We can look into that. So I would recommend to President that maybe we should form a company or just to overlook on that one, because that's a huge matter. We cannot just give one company the whole thing. We should look into the cost, and we should also look to improve that.
Yes, Mr. Smith. Can I
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I guess you could make a motion to form a committee, but there's nothing on the agenda, and I'm not sure.
No, you can't vote on that.
Okay, then,
Put it on your next agenda.
okay, all right.
Yep.
Trustee,
Oh, my question, I am done. I got answer.
Yep.
okay. Okay, we'll move along to Pat Meritato, the Senior Center.
Oh, jeez, my turn?
Do you remember what you're gonna
That's
say?
about 2 hours ago. I forgot what I wanted. Mike, we gotta get the senior open for bingo.
I know.
I'm getting
they've been
complaints. And Bloomingdale has bingo.
Unfortunately, we're going,
I said to Jennifer, I didn't know why we weren't having bingo because of the fact that, like, the other night, we had all those people in there. I mean, what was the difference? And like you said, the residents are asking for bingo.
my understanding is they were looking at doing it in conjunction when community dining comes back in October. So that, because the two seem to go hand in hand.
Not till October?
That's my understanding is when community dining comes back in, but I'll talk with Jennifer and get a better understanding of it.
Well, because I can't understand it. I mean, we had the barbecue, 70 people, seniors, and we can't have bingo.
Right, and some of them really depend on that afternoon out, and it's very important to them, and that's why they've been asking.
So
I'll talk to
they
them.
told me to look into it, and I don't want to get beat up by seniors.
Me neither.
Huh? You know what I mean, Mike?
I completely do.
So, I mean, if you
right
could
there
talk
with
to
you.
Jennifer, let's open it up, maybe 25 people. I mean, we don't have to have, I don't know how many, I don't know how many people play, but maybe we can cut it in half and, have it.
Maybe we can, but I don't think that we have to. I mean, usually there's about 50 people that come for bingo, Pat.
Well, I don't know how many people come, but I'm just saying that, I mean.
They don't really sit right next to each other because they want a lot of room, you know? And so it's
They
not
have their
where they're
assigned seating, from what I
all
understand.
crowded in there. And they really enjoyed the bingo, and these are seniors that need to get out. I have to agree with you completely.
I'll talk to Jennifer.
So, I don't know, talk to her and see if we can do it.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, and trustee Pojek.
Finally,
Your turn.
Save the best to last, that's what I
Yeah,
told
I
you.
know, but Jesus.
It's not the best
I
to
got
last.
lost in that rigmarole with this computer garbage. I'm not on Facebook, I'm not IT, and I don't know what the heck you talked about. Believe me, you lost me. I was ready to fall asleep. Mr. Coker, this is for you. You were sworn in on May 6th. 3 months ago, it's August now.
Yes.
Where's our deputy mayor? It's in our ordinance that we have a deputy mayor. Let's assume you couldn't make it, or something happened to you. Who's going to take your place?
Number one, is not on agenda, but my plan is.
It's not on the agenda, but this is the committee of the whole.
And my plan is to announce after we hire AVA, so it's closing.
Hire what?
AVA.
Assistant
Assistant
Minister.
Assistant Village Administrator.
So I talked with the trustees, other trustees.
Why are you waiting so long? You had 3 months so far.
It's closed now, you know.
Huh?
It's closed. I told you.
It's what?
We are hiring AVA. After that, we are hiring, I'm appointing, deputy mayor.
So when is that going to be? Another 3 months, or is it going to be very shortly?
I don't know, but we are hiring.
Well, you don't know. You should know.
We
You
are-
should know something what's going
I
on.
am appointing after AVA is hired, you know.
Are you interviewing anybody now for the assistant?
We got resume. We have not interviewed so far.
That's for the assistant
Yes,
village
sir.
administrator. But what about, let me finish. What about our secretary to the trustees and to the man, to you?
Mr. Maron can answer you. You know. We have received resume, and I asked him, Mr. Maron, to prepare questionnaire, and that has not been done for last at least 1 month, you know. So Mr. Maron can talk about that, you know. Yes, Mr. Maron.
Yes, I explained to you the other day that I had draft questions that I was going to print out and let you take a look at. So those are just about ready to go, and we have an evaluation program that Nicole helped put together so that we can evaluate the resumes that came in. The intention was to start at the beginning of August with reviewing the resumes and the interviewing, and we're working towards that.
How many resumes do we get, do you know, for that position?
15-ish. I don't have a good number for you.
12
It's
to
about
15.
15.
Okay.
12 to 15.
Are we going to have the opportunity to, trustees to interview?
Yes, there is one trustee on the,
Just one trustee?
yeah, one trustee.
Who's that?
One trustee is, I'm on the board. Trustee, Mr. Schmidt is on the board. And Mr. Maron, we have a manager, human, and we have one executive.
Nicole.
Yeah, she's manager, human resources. And we have one executive, Ms. Rachel. We are like 5 people, 4 or 5.
We don't know anything about it. Pat just said motion to me. We don't know nothing about that. You had somebody on hand?
Yeah, I talked to Mr., he's on the board.
We have a committee to interview the assistant administrator? We got a committee for that?
Yes, we do have committee.
A selection committee that the mayor has put together.
Oh, we do?
yes.
You already have it?
We have. Yeah, Mr. Maron is on that, Ms. Nicole is, I am on that, Mr. Schmidt is on that, Ms. Rachel is, so we have 5 people on this committee. 5 people, don't worry.
Okay, well, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about it.
We are worried.
Okay.
Last week, I attended a function at the Bloomingdale Golf Course. And I was approached, wait, excuse me.
Sure.
I was approached by a person that was at that party, asked me if I knew that you were going to get rid of our secretary. I says, what? I had nothing to know anything about that, period. So that was Wednesday night. First thing I did Thursday morning was over by see Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Pojek, trustee Pojek.
And he explained to me, everything that they had, the secretary in, and they explained some program with her. We were not involved. We didn't know nothing about it. I asked some of the other trustees. Nobody knew anything about that. That's a hush-hush deal. And I was told from the very first you got sworn in, you wanted to get rid of her. Is that true?
Is your question done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Mr. Project number one, when I'm new mayor, number one, and I was under impression that Mr. Maron, he's informing to every trustee about what we are doing. But what I heard in last week or two, that Mr. Maron, he's not providing me the exact information or complete information, and I am unable to convey any information which I do not have.
Then ask
Number
him
one,
then.
number one, please listen. If you have question, or you can have a question, I can stop. Yes. Do you have more question?
Yeah, ask
Number
him.
one. Okay,
Ask him.
number one. Number two, when I came to this position, mayor of Glendale Heights or president of Glendale Heights, Ms. Becky came to me and she said, Ms. Linda Jackson, our former president, she said that she used to use me for getting my medicine, taking her to doctors, taking her to restaurant, doing all those personal work. So that to me, that was, Ms. Becky was her personal assistant, not executive secretary to mayor of Glendale Heights and board of Glendale Heights. And she offered me the same thing that Mr. Mayor, if you need me, call me anytime. So to me, that position was not acceptable, number one. Number two, the second was, since I have taken oath, I have not sent any employee of this village to home or fire anyone. And I do not have any intention to fire anybody because I believe in values, family values. Every employee has his or her bills. They have to support their family unless there is question of performance. And what I found in last 3 months, there was question of performance with Ms. Becky, and it did not happen one time, it did not happen 2 times, not 3 times, not 4 times. It happened repeatedly. So I asked Mr. Maron to transfer her. I did not want to fire her, I did not want to send her home. So for last at least 1 month, I have been asking Mr. Maron, and Mr. Maron is giving me excuses, lame excuses. We do not have budget. This is the only secretary available to you. There is no other person who can help you. That was his answer. So now Mr. Maron is in good position to talk.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, excuse me. We shouldn't be talking about personal issues at a board meeting.
We do have an executive session
Right.
that has the topic for that. I don't know if this was the matter you were going to be discussing, but
That we do an executive session, not at.
you have the alternative to go into executive session. The law allows you to do that, to talk about
Because
this
he
matter.
asked me, and Mr. Schmidt is the president, so he can control,
Okay. Does anybody else have anything that they want to discuss? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole meeting?
We got public comment again, don't we?
I don't see anything.
No? Okay.
There's nothing. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Adjourn to
Motion
executive
to, you want to adjourn into executive session now?
Motion to adjourn.
Or to recess? Which one?
Ms.
Going
Mary?
to adjourn.
Okay, into executive session
Yes.
for the 2 reasons listed on the agenda, which includes collective negotiating matters under 5 ILCS 120/2C5, and to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees pursuant to Section 5 ILCS 122C1. So you need a motion to adopt that.
Is there a motion to go to executive session?
Second.
Second, Mr. Pojek.
Who moved?
Moved.
No, who moved?
Mary?
First, Ms. Mary.
Okay, thank you.
Second, Mr. Pojek.
You need a roll call.
Roll call, please.
Okay, left, okay. Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt? Yes. Trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato, absent, and trustee Pojek.
Yes.
We will move to executive session.